want to welcome you to the home of Carol Luteran, and she is the widow of Johnny Luteran, who is one of the inductees for the Carb Hall of Fame for 2010. Carol, it really is a privilege to be able to sit down and talk with you and talk a little bit about Johnny and what he did for the racing community here in the Kansas City area. One of the people that I talked to about Johnny referred to Johnny as the Bill France of Kansas City racing. Your husband is considered the person that made racing in this town what it is, and for 25 years formed and led the Kansas City Auto Racing Club. How did that organization kind of come into being?
Well, gee, that's a long time ago. He, when I met him in '52, he was racing himself. And he didn't race too long after we met, but he decided that cars, the drivers, they needed organized. So he started organizing. And he wanted them to have a place where they could race every week, you know. And through the years, he made them a place to race every week. Saturday nights at Riverside and Sunday nights at Olympic for many, many years. That's what we did on the weekends. 20, 25 years.
Long, long time. And I'm sure made a lot of good friends and met a lot of good people in that time.
Oh, yes. Many, many. Lots of people.
Yeah. Let's go back just a little bit. Like you say, Johnny did drive, I believe it was from 52 to 55, and he drove in the stock car class. And from talking to a couple of people, I heard Johnny was pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I think he come in second one time in the point standing at the end of one year, and third one point at the end of the year. And I remember, you know, he raced against Junior Hire. If you know who Junior Hire
yes.
He beat Junior Hire a few times, not a lot, but a few times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like I said, he got in the business end of it, and he liked doing that.
From talking with you also, it seems like that he was a genuine race fan at heart and had to be, and really must have loved the sport to get into the promoting and also forming the club, because it sounds like at that time it was a time when racers and car owners were in a little bit of a dilemma as far as rules. And I think that's one of the things that Johnny really came in and done, was he was able to set down a set of rules for people pretty much at both tracks to run by, and probably took a lot of the guesswork out of it for drivers and crews.
Well, yeah, like, you know, I don't know about engine specifications and stuff, but of course he had some of the older guys that knew about that stuff, but they could race their cars at Saturday night at Riverside and go home and change the motors or the engines and make them put faster ones in so they could run the next night at an Olympic. So they could run 2 nights a week.
Right. And,
so, you know.
And not only, like I say, did he help set up the rules for the organization, but he ran the races at Olympic and Riverside.
He signed them in to the pits where they paid their insurance or, you know, things like that, and they drew for their positions in the heat races, I think, and then he set up the whole program for them. And then he did the payoff. He broke down the purse for the payoff and paid him the payoff window.
Yeah. And sounded like also it was kind of a team event, because your dad, Pappy, and your brother,
Daddy.
Everett.
Yeah, they worked down the pits with John.
And you were up in the scoring tower, scoring races. Now that had to be fun. Did you have somebody helping you?
Alice Wilson and Betty Parsons. Betty's husband was Tom. He was the announcer for many years with us, and Alice's husband was Bob Wilson, and he had the newspaper or the program. I can't remember which.
They took care of that and supplied that each week for the tracks.
Yeah.
So in a way, it was kind of a family deal with Johnny and your dad and your brother and yourself taking care of the races. By the end of the summer, that kind of had to be a grind, though, didn't it?
Yes. Like I said, there was never any vacations. When the kids could go on the vacation in the summertime, we had to work. Then when we could go over the winter time, they had to go to school. So, you know,
no time
vacations.
Off.
Yeah, no time off.
But there were some perks to this job, from what I understand, from what you were telling me. After the races on a Saturday night, you guys got together with Ed Young, who was the owner of Riverside, and used to go down to the old downtown airport and eat. Now, that had to be a blast.
Yes. Yeah. Went down to the airport with Ed Young and ate every Saturday night. I think he used to have toast, milk toast with milk, hot milk on it, because he had a bad gallbladder.
Oh, okay.
We never did stay after in the pits with everybody else. Sunday nights, we come out of the pits on Sunday nights outside in the parking lot, and we got to stay and socialize a little bit after those races, but not on Saturday nights. We had to go entertain him.
Well, like I say, part of the spoils. Boy, I get to go to dinner with the track owner. That had to be fun. I was told, and I'm going to blame this on Bud Honeycutt, because I got together with Bud to get a few facts and figures from him, but he said that your husband, Johnny, had a roll of Tums in one pocket and some aspirin in the other, and this was because of all the dealings that he had to do with racers and car owners and the such.
Yeah, he had a lot of egos to deal with.
Hasn't changed a lot.
A lot of egos, but he dealt pretty good. He was a man's man. He could deal with them.
Right.
I don't ever remember any bad situations he got into down there.
I think one of the other things that Bud told me and that he respected a lot about Johnny was that no matter what problem came up or how serious an issue or whatever it was, that Johnny, after having a little time to think about it, was able to come up with a workable solution for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what made him so liked by the racers.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I think Bud described him as, and you may have said this a while ago, he was a people person. And was able to relate with everybody's issues as far as that was concerned. But also, I wanted to ask you, do you have any memory in particular about those years with Johnny and the racing that you could relate to us? Anything that sticks out in particular in your mind?
That's a long time ago.
Oh, I forgot to ask you. There was one other thing I meant. You guys always came up with Johnny came up with a lot of different promotions, and one of them, I think, involved a greased pig.
Yeah, I don't know, can't remember where he come up with that, but sure enough, he did one night. Some way he got a hold of a pig, and they greased him up and let him out in the infield. That was at Riverside, and the guys had to go around the track. I don't know how many times they get out of their car and try and catch this greased pig. And you know, I think I told you, we had figure-8 races and demolition derbies where they hit each other, and he tried to do a lot of different things just to promote and trying to bring more people in the stands, you know. He just tried to think of different things to do.
Right.
Exciting things, you know.
Just to get more fans in the stands.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Well, folks, as much as I hate to say it, we're going to have to wrap it up here with Carol. Carol, I really do appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. And I know you're looking forward, I'm sure, to the Hall of Fame dinner.
Oh, yes.
And Johnny's induction. And, folks, that's going to have to wrap it up, I'm afraid, here from Carol Luteran's house. We'll see you all down the road somewhere.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.